Dressed up keeping myself busy, play a little game. So yeah, singing lots of nonsense, but singing just the same. Singing, 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 singing. All right, guys. Hello, hello. Hey, everyone. Welcome, welcome. If you're here, say hello. I'd love to hear from you guys. I am Heather Powers from Humble Beads. There we go. And we're back to our Bead Table Tuesdays, which is where I jump on and share a fun and simple project with you guys. And so we'll be doing this every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And at the end of the video, I will be giving away a $30 gift certificate. So make sure you hang around for that. Hi, Gloria. I haven't seen you in a long, long time. Hi. And Lori and Sandy, Julian, Susan. Hi, buddy. Fran, Nancy. Hello, Heidi. I'm so glad you guys are all here. Definitely let me know you guys are watching. It makes it so much more fun when there's a party going on. Hi, Christina and Rosalinda, Kelly. We got Cindy and Kathy and Pat. Oh, thank you guys for joining me. Pam J. Cool. I know I always mess up the best names. Thank you guys for being patient with me. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to be making today. We are going to be making a Be Kind knotted necklace, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a really simple and fun way to add charms to a knotted necklace without tools. Just with the power of the waxed linen. So that's what we're going to be playing around with today, and I'm ready to just flop over and put the camera on my desk. Hi, Donna and Karen, Brenda, John Ellen. Nice to see you guys. Hi, Shelly. So let me let me switch my camera around here. Here we go. Let me straighten that out a little. There we go. Now we're in business. Okay. All right. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some knotting. And I'm going to show you guys how to add little charms, larger charms via beads, as beads, to add a little twist to the regular wax linen knotted necklace. Super easy technique. We're going to have fun doing it. It's the kind of project you can just do a little bit of prep and have it ready to go and take it on a day trip with you if you're in the car for a while, or if you have to, well, not have to, if you're out camping or something fun like that. This is a great little project to take with you. And we're doing Be Kind because, for goodness sakes, the world needs some kindness right now, doesn't it? Oh my God. So much kindness. So in the shop, I have the gold beads and the little, I'm calling this one Meadow Green. It's a spot on sage green. So if you like sage green, like I do, then this one's for you. I like them both, actually. I'm going to use this one for the demo because you can see the coloring with that. And the type of beads that I'm going to be using today are 4mm and 5mm are the two sizes that I'll be using. So these are 3x5mm, I'm sorry, 3x5mm rondelles, faceted rondelles. I have some 4mm drukes, 4mm fire polish, and 4mm melons. So when I am putting together my little mix, when I'm gathering beads, here's my little bead mix with a little kitty hair on it. That's classy. have a new kitty and she likes to be as close to me as possible. So she sits on my desk or behind me when I'm making jewelry or beads. So anyways, when I pulled out my mix, I just pulled colors that were, I wanted soothing. I wanted blue of the sky is what I was going for with the green of the meadow. And I have some little tiny touches of green throughout. So a really easy way to do this is to pick colors on the color wheel that are next to each other. So here we have blue, green, and gold or yellow, and those are next to each other on the color wheel. So if you look at your color wheel and you pick colors that are next to each other, you'll have a pretty harmonious color palette. So that's what we're going for. All right. Joellen, your superpower is kindness. We all need to tap into that superpower. I'm so glad that's your superpower. I absolutely love it. Okay, so we got our beads, and I'm going to be using 4mm spacers, metal spacers. This is optional, and the reason I like to use metal spacers on knotted work is it adds some weight to the design so that it will, be a little heavier because everything is super lightweight on here. This is a very light necklace, and the metal seed beads just add a little weight to help gravity pull that pendant down and wear just a little bit nicer. And so these are cornerless cube ones that I found on Etsy. And you can just look up cornerless cube beads or from your favorite bead shop, or you might have some in your stash. And they don't have to be cornerless cubes. They could be any metal spacers will work just fine. Hi, Wendy from New Jersey and Linda. Nice to have you guys here. So we are going to start with, I need to grab a jump ring. Thought I had everything. I was so close, you guys. Okay, I need a gold jump ring. I only had copper ones pulled out. So let's grab a gold jump ring. Here we go. Or brass, not gold. I'm using a brass twisted jump ring. It's a 17mm jump ring. And what I'll be using today is 4-ply waxed linen. So that's our wax linen that we're going to be using is 4-ply wax linen. I am going to close this jump ring up completely. There we go. Heard that little click, and I'm going to cut off about 5 inches. I probably won't even need that much. If you just have a little scrap of your 4-ply wax linen, you could use that too. And I'm putting this, folding it over in half, and I'm going to thread the loop through the jump ring, and then I'm going to pull the two ends through the loop, and give a nice little lark's head knot there. There we go. And now, here, I'm going to cut these so they're the same length. Make it a little bit easier, and then roll those two ends together to get a skinnier strand to go through. So both the strands are going through together at once. And so I'm going to have it nestled right above the pendant. And I'm going to pull the two strands from the back. I'm going to pull them around. And then I'm going to stick them through the little loop here. Would help if this was a little bit longer, but that's okay. So I've wrapped it around one time, and I'm going to pull it through the loop. This is going to give us a nice little knot to hold our pendant together. And you want to make sure the knot is very close to the pendant. And now I'm going to separate the two strands. And I'm going to wrap it around to the back and tie a little knot, just a regular little tie your shoe knot. And then I'm going to repeat that in the front. And I like to have a little fringe on my pendant here, so I'm going to cut about a ½ inch. I'm going to leave about a ½ inch tail here. And then if you twist the threads going the opposite way that they are twisted together, it'll fray like that. I am from New Zealand. I almost said Arizona. That would be funny. Okay, so there's our piece. All ready to go. We are ready for the knotting, and I'm going to do 36 inches on both sides. I'm going to start with one in case I wildly overestimate how much I need, but I don't think I will. And what I'm going to do is, so this is 36 inches long, and I'm going to fold it so that we have about 2½ inches hanging down to make a little loop. And we're going to do a lark's head knot, but with just a tiny bit of the second piece, so that it's not 2 strands. But I like the lark's head knot for its strength and stability on these pieces. So I'm going to pull both of the threads through the piece. I'm going to make sure this is positioned where I'd like it to be. And I'm going to take the larger piece and do a knot. And so I'm wrapping the thread around the little nubbin here, wrapping it around my finger, and then pulling the long thread through that loop. And then as I tighten this up, I want to make sure the knot is all the way down here at the bottom. And you can do 2 things. You can cut this right up to the knot and cover it with a bead cover. Is that what they're called? Oh boy. You know, words. They just are so fickle. Okay, let me move that up. And grab my little crimp covers. There we go. That's what they're called. So I have, these ones, yeah. Crimp covers, or they might also be called bead crimps. Here's some smaller ones. I'm going to grab the tiny ones. And you can get these from Vintage. Or you could use any little crimp covers that you have. Crimp cover. I know. I was even thinking before I started the video, I need to start doing some like brain exercises so I quit forgetting words so easily. It's just that age, not dementia or it's just, women of a certain age words kind of get lost. Okay, so I'm going to throw this crimp cover over that knot. And I'm going to use my parallel pliers. You can also use regular pliers, but the parallel pliers work excellent. And I'm just going to close that little crimp up completely. And my first bead is going to be the metal spacer. Hi, Ramona. Nice to see you here from Texas. We are also having kind of a weird gray day. I don't know if it's going to rain or if it's because of the wildfires in Canada. Okay, so doing the same simple knot, and I'm going to repeat the knot. It's the same knot through the entire design. All right, now I'm going to do 3 beads. And I'm just going to grab them randomly, quote unquote randomly, and I'm going to knot between each bead. When I'm picking up the beads that I want to use, I'm looking to mix colors, textures, and shapes so that we don't have two beads that are too similar right next to each other. And there's two ways you could do this design. This first way, well, actually, there's three ways you could do this design. The first way that we're doing it, we're doing a random pattern on the strand, and then all of our flowers or little charms are the same. The other way you could do it is you could reverse that, and all of your little beads that you're tying on could be the same bead, and then you could switch the shapes up. I mean, not shapes. Well, you could switch the shapes, but the colors or designs of the little dangles that we're going to use. They don't have to be flowers. They could be any larger bead that you'd want to use. No rules here, but that's just some guidelines that I've had for myself as I put these together. Okay, so for this first one, I want the flower to be a little bit lower. On this one, I had the flower up a little bit high, and I think it would look better if it was started just down 2 beads sooner. So it will also pull the necklace down a little bit more towards the pendant. So now I'm ready to throw on one of the metal spacers. Oh, and if I didn't say, the third way you could do this is to have a random mix of both beads and the little dangles that we're going to do. Okay, so now we're ready to do our first dangle, and I'm going to be using these 12mm hibiscus flowers, and I'm going to thread this onto my strand here, and now I'm going to take the thread and I'm going to pull it up behind the bead, and I'm going to wrap it around 2 times. So this thread is going around above the bead. I'm going to wrap it around once and then back around. I guess that's one whole time. And I'm going to slide my strand through that loop that I made and pull it down. And once I get to this part, I want to make sure that my knot is going to be very tight up against my bead. And you want to make sure that the little part that you've pulled up, I'm gonna redo that because it was too loose. Okay, it's very important that this little piece doesn't have any slack. So the piece that we're putting behind the bead, you don't want any slack there. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it around one time, slip it through just like we did the other beads, and I'm going to get that nice and tight on there. And there is our little drop, you guys. Oh, super sweet and simple. And you don't have to have any head pins or any extra tools. That's what you're going to do through the whole thing. You're just going to repeat the pattern, except this time we're going to have 5 glass beads in between each spacer. So there'll be a little bit more room in between the beads after the first one. We just want that first one to be a little closer to the pendant. Okay. Oh, Karen, I'm so glad to hear you guys have rain. The wildfires are just so scary. All right, now we're going to do 5. I'm going to try to do these a little bit quicker. Of course, that's always the my downfall when I say I want to do something quicker, and then I end up doing it twice as slow. That's okay. And so I am mixing up shapes, so I don't want to do like 2 round ones next to each other. I want to have a little bit of difference. You could do like, if you did do 2 of them, just make sure the third one is definitely different. You don't want to do a whole row of the same size or shape. So I'm going to put a slightly smaller rondelle next to this larger rondelle. And this was all just bead soup. I just pulled these out of my bins that I have my beads sorted into colors. And it's a fabulous project to use up leftover beads. We love a good bead soup project, don't we? Because I don't know anyone that doesn't have a big pile of beads that they could use weeding out. This is a fun way to make just a really casual bohemian-inspired necklace. Great present for a friend who is a gardener, because the bees are our precious resource, right? Need those bees. I think this little melon bead might be a 5mm melon bead that I had in my stash, and I'm cool with a 5mm one. I'll show you in a minute a sample where I use some larger beads, and you guys can see another variation in just a moment. And you could use any pendant for the front here. You could use a metal bee, like Vintage has some really cool metal bees, or you could use a flowery art bead. It doesn't have to be this pendant. You could use whatever is in your stash. Okay, now we're ready to do the charm again, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Okay, so you're going to throw on your dangle, the bead that you're going to have a dangle, and I put that little spacer right next to the bead that's going to be my dangle. And you want to pull this up and make sure it's very, very tight there. It's really important that that stays nice and tight and you don't have any slack on that string in the back. Okay. So I'm pulling that down as tight as I can. And I'm going to turn it over, and it's ready for the next bead. Do you guys love this? It's so cute. I mean, you could do it like super colorful in the middle and white beads, or you could do you could match it to anything. You could do a really colorful one that will go with every outfit you plan on wearing for the summer. It's definitely one you can play with and have a lot of fun. Okay, so when I get to the end, I'm going to let me take this one and finish, so I can show you guys how I would do the end, because I'm not going to. You could do a whole strand of the knotted, but I'm going to do a chain in the back. Yeah. Oh, Kaylin, let me get to emails this evening. We've just been doing our hardest over here. I don't know if you guys know, my dad passed away 2 weeks ago, and we have been, has it been 2 weeks? Almost 2 weeks. And so we've just been doing lots of funeral prep and taking care of his estate and all sorts of stuff. So I'm working. But if you haven't heard from me send an email to humblebeads@gmail.com and put urgent response needed. And then I'll know you're the fire I need to put out right away. So we're slowly working our way through all the orders. We got a big batch out yesterday and more are going out today. So it's happening, just slower than I want it to because life keeps throwing difficult things my way. Just another reason I need to create now more than ever, just to keep my sanity. Okay, so I'm doing the same 5 beads. This is one I've already, I did 5 flowers. So I always work in increments of odd numbers, so either 5s or 7s or 3, and then go from there. So I have 5 of the flowers, and now I'm going to add chain to this. So there's my piece. I'm going to end with, yeah, it's been a year. This last time when my dad passed away, I was like, oh, I guess I can handle more than I thought I could. And I just keep living in the moment, finding the joy that you can with the people you love. And that's all you can do. And that's more than enough. Okay, you can see I haven't put the little crimp bead on that one, so I need to add a crimp bead up there, but let me first show you the chain. I'm gonna grab this chain I inherited from my mom, so I'm sorry I can't tell you where it's from. I'm sure she got it at a bead show at one time or another, but it's a really great open circle, and I think it'll be a nice complement to the open circles on my necklace. Or not the open circles, but the little flower dangles that I have on here. And I'm going to, well, I'm doing about 12 inches. I might not need that much, but I would rather have more than not enough. So we'll see after I get the other side if I need to cut any of this off. And this chain is great. You can use smaller pieces of it for earrings, so I don't mind having little bits. Oh, Karen, I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. Yeah, that's just, life is full of beauty and joy and heartbreak. And it's okay. We get through it all. All right, so to do this, I'm going to wrap around 2 times. I want a nice sturdy attachment. So I'm going to have the wax linen wrapped around 2 times around my chain, and then I'm going to do that knot, just that simple knot, and I want to pull nice and tight so I don't have any slack in between my knot and the chain. And I'm going to do 1 more knot just for good measure. If you want, you could use a little beading glue on this knot. I find that the wax on the wax linen is enough to hold it on there. I don't need to worry about that. Okay, and so I would just use the little crimp bead to cover that up and the one on the bottom. And that is how I would finish this necklace. Now, you can see this one, I did it up a little. I did 5 beads in between each one, and I really think it looks better. Just 2 beads a little bit closer. All right, now let me show you the third option, which is just do whatever you want. And so here I've used larger beads, and this one's like, I think this is 9 by 6, and we have some 6mm little this is like an 8 by 7, and then this is like I don't know, 12 by 15. So I really mixed and matched the sizes. It goes much quicker when you use the larger beads, and the drops look really cool in there too. And so I did this just as a test. So of course I would have started on a big jump ring and went up from there. And so yeah, that's it. That's the necklace. What do you guys think? Super sweet, super simple. I do need to do a sample where I have this. I reverse it where you have one color, like a strand of beads that's all one, and then the little flowers all mixed in between. That would be fun too. And you just want to make sure that all of your little knots are on the back of the bead when you're finished, well, while you're working, so that they don't flip around. If they do flip around, you kind of have to train it, and the wax linen will help you turn it the right way, and it will stay pretty well, but you might have to finesse it a little to make it lay so that only the bead shows and not the wax linen in the back, if that makes sense. All right. Love this. Oh, I can't wait to wear it. And like, both of these match my shirt perfectly, so I'm not sure. We'll see if I can get one done today. Okay, so let me jump over and get the drawing for you guys. Okay, 1 second. It's always a little different every time you jump in. They're always playing with things behind the scenes. Okay, so that's not the one I want. This is the one I want. Be kind. Hashtag be kind is what we're going to enter into the comments to be entered into a $30 gift certificate for humblebeads.com. Okay, so Karen asks, does the wax linen stretch or wear down like silk thread? Not that I've seen. Karen, if you pulled it really hard, it might stretch a little bit, but if you keep the knots really tight, it shouldn't. I haven't seen where it's like stretched out. Oh, guys, I've been missing you too. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. It's nice to, I just decided I need to do this for myself as much as for you guys. So, Pam, the cord that I used is 4-ply waxed linen, and comes in all different colors. And we have some of it on the website, but if not, beadshop.com also carries the wax linen if you're looking for another color. All right, make sure to type in hashtag be kind, all caps, and that will give you a chance to get into the $30 gift certificate. The beads are on the website at humblebeads.com. And just so you guys know, orders are taking between a week to 2 weeks for new orders. So just keep that in mind as we're catching up. We'll get them out as soon as we can. Sometimes we're a little bit quicker, and it depends if I can get some help this week. Yes, and so if I sold out of the sage ones, I will be making more later next week too. Make sure you guys are entering 2 E's, so it's BEE kind. It won't enter if you don't put the 2 E's. Yes, Gloria, my mind does need a little breather from life, and beads definitely are the place to do that. Actually, any creating feels great, doesn't it? sometimes you just need to focus on something beautiful and where you can just let your mind take a moment and breathe. Okay, will you be making the round golden flowers? Christine, if you can send me a picture of it, I'm not 100% sure if I know which one you're talking about. So send me a picture at humblebeads.com, and then we'll get through. I mean, we'll get through. Sorry, I was reading something else. Humblebeads@gmail.com is my email. And let me send me a picture or a link of what flower you're talking about, and I will see what I can do for you. Cindy, Jesse's doing pretty good. He's recovering nice and slowly, but steadily. So we're really happy about that. And he's been able to work again for a few hours a day. Carolyn, I'm going to say yes, you can add a bead to an order that hasn't shipped yet. Just if you could leave a note for me, send me a note so that I will be on the lookout for both orders and be able to put those together. Yeah, we can do that for you. Barb, we're it's not a date in particular, it's based on what I've made. So if you've ordered the new birds or the tiny bird kit from TGBE, or the spring disc beads, those are the ones that we're finishing up right now. Everything else will be out by tomorrow. So all of the older orders, they are on their way, and then the ones with the tiny birds are the ones we're catching up on. I've got a desk full of tiny birds I'm working on. So, yeah. All right. We seem to have all of the bee kinds. So let's do our drawing. Good luck, you guys. Crossing my fingers for all of you. Oh, yes. And, guys, Humble Beads, I'm going to write my email on here. If you haven't heard back from me, just on your title, put urgent reply needed, and I'll get back to you, because the last 2 weeks I've just been putting out fires, because sometimes that's life. And I so appreciate you guys just knowing that it is an artist, a human behind the magic over here. I'm trying to switch my camera back. Here we go. All right. And this has been a really hard time in my life, and I'm just getting through it. So it doesn't have to be all capitals for the email. I just had my caps lock on, so it'll get delivered either way if you do lowercase or uppercase. I did want to share 2 more things with you guys before you run off. We are having Bead Camp at the end of this month. It's going to start. Bead Camp, it's going to be a project every month, and then you also get the little journal that I make for you guys that you can print out and do a little self-care along with your jewelry making, and we're going to have little badges that you can earn with prizes. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I need something fun for the summer, and I have lots of great memories of camp when I was a kid, so I just wanted to capture some of that fun and joy of creating together. And so we're going to do the 3 classes. They're the last Monday of each month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you can't make a class, you can always watch the replay, and you have unlimited, like, lifetime access to the replays. You can watch them whenever you want once they're up. Lori, we are sending out a supply list. It goes out the 15th of every month. I think I might have said the beginning of the month, but it's going to be the 15th. And the first month is the only month you will need to have any special supplies. Everything else is your stash. And then for the next 2 months for the embroidery or the we're doing embroidery and the sun prints. I'll have a little kit at the beginning of the beginning of July, and you can purchase that kit if you don't want to gather everything up. If not, I will have the supply list for June and July in the classroom at the end of this month, because there's some special things that you're going to have to grab. For the first one, we're going to be making polymer clay pendants and making them into jewelry. And so the only thing that you'll need is blocks of white polymer clay and some acrylic chalk paint. And so that's what we'll be using for the first one. That's something other than what you'd probably have in your stash, because all of these classes, I'm really trying to use up beads that have a special meaning to me, ones that are in my stash that, you kind of save for the good projects. And so I encourage you guys to pull out the ones that are the good projects. The good beads for these projects. And we're going to do the polymer clay the first month. The second month, we're going to be creating bead embroidery. And I've been experimenting and having a lot of fun with that. It's going to be really something beautiful and not like regular bead embroidery. It's my own take on bead embroidery, so a little different. And then the last month, we're going to be playing with the sun prints and covering them with resin. And so you'll need a little resin nail dryer, and I'll have a link for that. And you can get them from $15 on up, but they're pretty inexpensive on the big Amazon. I don't know where else to get it. And so thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about is if you are interested in the ones that we did for winter or the spring sessions, the bead camp, and you didn't get a chance to sign up for either one of those, the replays are available, and you can purchase just the replays. And there's a little bit of a discount for purchasing the replays, and you can watch them whenever you're ready. And so lots of great wire and metal projects and a little bit of polymer clay in the last one too. All right, you guys, take care. I'm going to go finish some orders today, and I will see you next Tuesday at 3 p.m. And we're just going to be doing this every Tuesday through the summer at 3 p.m. I'm committed to that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and having something beautiful to make every month. All right. Every week, not month, every week. And so next week, I think I'll be ready to pull out the starfishes. Oh, Debbie, these earrings I actually I made for my mom a long time ago. They have this is an enamel pendant, or not pendant, charm. I can't remember the artist though. And then one of my little humble beads. But yeah, so I wear a lot of the jewelry that I gave my mom lately. It's like a little hug from her. So thank you guys. Yeah, Lorraine, I'll be looking through my emails tonight after I finish today's orders and answering you guys. I know you guys, I know I have about 5 or 6 of them in there that we haven't answered yet. So I will get to you guys as soon as I'm done with today. Heidi, I don't have a studio tour video. I need to make one because for Mother's Day, my son rearranged my entire studio. It was the best ever. And so I will do, maybe I'll do that for one of the bead tables as well. Do a little roam around the studio. We're trying to incorporate all the beads that I inherited from my mom, who was a seed bead artist. And I'm trying to find places to put that stuff in this small studio, which is our shop, our studio, and just all around creative spot. Yes, I'm really happy with the studio, and it's looking more creative every day and a little bit cleaner every day too. I know, shocking. All right, guys, take care. I will see you next week. Have a good week and take care of yourself. hug somebody tight. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.